So I might not even have to do too much, I guess, reasoning with this one because the first three or four comments I saw said exactly what I was thinking. So I'll read it and then we go from there. So Hennessy Wills, which I guess is a gay black guy, says you cannot be pro-black and LGBTQIA plus. You either support blackness in all forms or you just want your turn at supremacy. Now, again, people are already saying what I was thinking um in the comment section, which is to say that you have to support every single black person in every single way that they choose to live their life is it's a ridiculous concept because there are so many things that you can like to choose an extreme. That one group that just South Park made fun of, which was Nambla, which was dudes that were not even pedophiles, but just straight up child molesters, and they were trying their best to make it uh, legal. So any black person in that form, are they required to support that black person? Just because you don't like gayness doesn't mean that you are against gay people. You just don't fuck with it. Like it's there is so much to that. Like to try to, essentially what you're trying to do is silence people and pigeonhole them to only you, which is I think is again ridiculous and kind of actually kind of cheating because now you just said you act ironically you actually are the one here who are trying to have your quote unquote turn at supremacy because now you can never be judged, you can never be rejected, you can never be anything. Everybody just has to side with you. So let's go ahead and go to the comment section and look at it. He responds to himself, said, "I've never been so happy to know I've upset this many people." I don't really like to try and reason with people like this because it's just so lazy. It's because you like fucking with people or you like having people upset with you, you think you're right because people are upset with you. It's stupid. It's just again, it's just so just lazy and like psychologically lazy. You're not even attempting to be a rational person. You're just saying shit, and then because people dislike what you said, which is like literally anything, oh, you're right then. He says to my black detractors, look who agrees with you. And then there's somebody who said only Patriot Jake, and they look white. Again, so now I can't have a opinion that a white person who's patriotic agrees with. So if you are white and patriotic, I automatically have to disagree with everything you say. Do you see the ridiculousness of people like this and how they actually are have a heavy presence in discussion and online debates. So now would Cam says this is stupid, not at all logical. I'm not anti-LGBTQ, but the assertion that pro-blackness is all forms is supporting blackness in all forms is absurd. I do not support black Nazis. I do not support black gang culture. I do not support black pimp culture. I do not support black MAGA. All those forms of blackness um, and black expression. I can be pro-black while simultaneously not supporting the lifestyles and choices for all black folks. Nigga, please. I hate when y'all try to correlate the two. Both struggles are not the same. Move around. Well, so to the I the talking point of black of the original the black struggle with post slavery and all that stuff being equivalent to um gay people. I don't know why that's still and a talking point that's at all accepted because just think about it. How on earth could you equate people not wanting gay people to get married or show public display of affection, we'll go to that extreme, to at one point nobody even investigated the crime of you being hung and burned. Like maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall that being in gay history. I know people fought you, beat you up. So maybe that's like it's the same thing because there was violence at all. Okay, we'll have that discussion another day. That's like saying you can't be black and be against devil worship. You know what's crazy? These people will dismiss the LGBT community but protect and idolize pedos. It's insane. Okay, I'm assuming that's like a MAGA claim because they say Trump was was in it with what is that? What's that guy? The dude that had a island and shit. I forget his name, but him. That's what that is. So it's just like now yet again because you didn't vote Democrat. It's the same shit that he's trying to do with the gay thing now, which is if you didn't vote Democrat by default, you support pedophiles, and it's like God damn. How many which ways are you going to try to pigeonhole me to enforce me to agree with you, dude? This is insane, and it's like you don't gain any support that way. You don't, because now I just don't want to be associated with you at all, or even hear your point. Because instead of trying to reason with me, you've decided that it would be the default thing to do is to just tell me that I am everything under the sun negative. And yet, if I don't agree with you, I am all the negative stuff possible. I can't fuck with people that try to cuff my hands behind my back like that. You don't vote with us, you like pedophiles. You don't vote with us, and the whole voting against your own interest. And how the fuck do you know? So now I can't even be intelligent on my own. Without handcuffing myself to you. Get the fuck out of here. In a nutshell, I believe he's saying is all that you can't say you want equality for all black people, yet ignore or even support the oppression of a whole subgroup of black people. It's either all of us or none of us, period. No, that's not what that's saying. I don't like what is the oppression that would be associated with black people? What is the oppression? Like y'all still have y'all commercials, y'all dedicated. Do they have a dedicated month? Yeah, they got Pride Month. They got the whole fucking parade thing. Like I don't understand how not being for the gay community all of a sudden means you want to oppress them. Like that doesn't. Again, you're cheating. Absolutely false. Don't try to co-opt blackness with your LGBT agenda. Pro-black don't mean you accept anything from anybody black because black and they not have any type of standards or codes. The most important thing a black person can do is further the black community is having a family, giving birth to the next generation and rising them to put the black agenda first. As an LGBT person, having a family is something you can't do. This is most important. So with that talking point on the table, we do have to talk about that, at least to a little depth here. So the idea of can someone be for really productive at all if you're not having a family, so on and so forth. See, one of the things that I think is very underrated with people, and I don't know why people are trying their best to get away from it, is community, which if you don't have community, it's going to be very hard to have any type of structure and order. And I say this quite a bit because I always run, even things that I don't record and go over, I run into a lot of ideas and talking points that are basically anti-community, anti-family, pro-individual, and it's just like they don't really grasp how that's not possible. Like, what comes to my head right now is when people say, this America is not was not built for single moms, and they say it in such a way of like, well, it should be. It's like, well, so what about the family structure then? If that's the case, like, how do you cater to both? How do you cater to single moms and two-parent household? How do you cater to both? Because if you're catering to two-parent households as a society and legislatively, on the legislative side you do stuff like tax breaks and blah blah blah. Well, now do you equate that legislatively with, oh, as long as you have a kid at all, you get a tax break? Well, only for one parent? Do you now, and you actually have that with the welfare, I believe, because I mean, WIC is women, infants, and children, so you have it there. Um, which is kind of unfair that the married couple that's struggling doesn't get that. But anywho, how do you cater to both of those simultaneously? So I really think people don't understand the whole. And the other thing, lastly, is when you leave out an entire group that you want to have their efforts and energy be a part of the building and foundation and everything, it's a hard sell when you tell them, no, fuck you. We don't really care. Like when I did cover the Killer Mike idea, which is basically let whoever the women sleep with get the benefit from the resources of education and job placement and things like that. Well, now you're saying that the incels, and yes, there are incels with regular jobs and regular non-pussy lives. Now what do you tell them? Oh, well, you don't get to benefit from this because you don't get coochie? Like, all right, so now what? Do they put in on the security front when you want to go march for something, or you want to have, like, when you want their votes, as we see, what do you do then? Because you've already told them fuck them on this front, right? So I really think people need to really take serious how important your actual community is. Like, literally, when you ask for a vote, like, vote, all of the black people going to vote for Kamala, you're asking for community. You can ask for community at this point when you want something, and then all up before and after that is like, nigga, fuck you. You've already turned away your community. So moving on. When we say until all are free, no one is free, that includes LGBT, and the real ones know this. Free of what, though? Free of what? You can't talk in these blanket, feel-good talking points and think that that's just it. What exactly? Free from what? You got to be specific here. Free from what? This comment section is scary. You really hate us, black gays, huh? Great. My bad, y'all. I'm also watching the Pistons game and they get an ass kicked. Great post, though. I never see this point made before, and I fully agree. Okay. I really don't know why people focus on the thought of hate so much as opposed to the actual physical doing of hate, but fine. You all aren't actually showing us how people are actively doing something to you by not being pro-gay. You're not showing anything. You're just saying, oh, you're not pro me, so therefore you're not pro. You gotta give an example, at least one example for people to build off of when trying to understand where you're coming from. See, when you just want to make people upset and you take that as you being right, how in the fuck do we even know where you're coming from? Because at that point, you're just talking shit. And if you're just talking shit, there's not much we can really do. Like, what do you want? The black LGBT exists because of white supremacy. They love promoting degenerate shit within the community. Okay, we really got to start being able to explain things without going something white, something, because it throws off what we're discussing. And no, I'm not one of those people that tries to say that racism doesn't exist. I'm not. That's not my point. Not even close. But I do need y'all to try to focus on doing really anything without saying white this or white that. You really got to get a grip on that. Stop trying to attach the rainbow gang to black struggles. Black people can't hide their skin color. Moving on. The general consensus of this thread is the reason why I, as a gay black man, don't consider myself pro-black. I'm not pro-gay either. Because my sexuality is not an agenda, it's literally just who I am. I'm not fighting to be included in spaces where my eligibility is dependent on who I lay in bed with. Blackness is so ingrained with homophobia, and sadly, that's not going to change in our lifetime. You know, the whole homophobia with black stuff is very odd. And what I mean is that it seems to be either one extreme or the other, right? Like, I can be absolutely just like I am absolutely just indifferent. I don't think to myself or about someone else like, oh, that gay shit, dog. Keep that gay shit from her. Like, for example, I had an uncle. Well, he's still alive. And I remember growing up, one of the stories he told me, he's absolutely anti-gay. He was absolutely anti-gay. And he said that to actually show me how anti-gay he was, he knew this guy and once he was cool with him, but once he came out that he was gay, if you saw him walking up the street, he would walk, and that's how he described it, he would walk on the other side. Like, fuck that gay shit. And so, like, I personally just don't understand the whole concept either way. Like for example, there was one time where in a video I covered how a woman said, black woman because it's relevant, that she wants traditional men, but yet you go to her profile, her bestest friend, who she all hugged up with, is clearly, no. The thing was, it was quite a few gay dudes she was hugged up with who seemed like that was like her normal like thing. And that's the other flip side of the extreme. Is, again, you can't be indifferent. You absolutely like have to be like so accepting of it that it has to be included in your life some kind of way, which is like I really don't understand. Like this dude is saying, why do you want to like force me to like have you in a space? It just doesn't make much sense. So, moving on. Y'all are two types of stupid if you believe we can all be free while simultaneously ostracizing black queer folk. Just stupid. Okay, what is this free thing they keep bringing up? Are they saying that if you are not pro-gay, that therefore you're willing to vanquish gay people to like jail terms? And to be fair to them, in some countries it actually is a crime, so I won't put it past anybody. But I don't think that is the idea in America, particularly black America. I don't think anybody's saying, okay, well here's what I'll say. in 2026, I think is at its like lowest point of like quote unquote hatred. Because like I said, I think I've spoken before on this channel about how I worked with in two consecutive jobs. I worked with two black guys who one just flat out admitted that he used to him and his friends used to beat up gay black dudes, and which is very odd. The part that pisses me off in that sense is they keep saying gay men, because it's like, wait a minute, women don't get their ass whooped for being gay. Not that I want you to. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I don't understand how the dudes get their ass whooped, but not like the lesbians. Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta beat everybody's ass if you gotta do that. But real talk. And one guy, he didn't flat out say that he did it. He did the whole, back in my day, you know what I'm saying, like, you gay, you know what I'm saying. Like, one dude I knew when I was in like college, he was a gay guy, you know what I'm saying. He got dealt with. Like, he did like one of those old head type things, and you kind of put it together and went, so okay, you beat him up. It's okay, sure. So shit like that. So to be fair, that happened, and not sure how. Again, I'm not sure how heavy it is today, because I don't really watch the news, but I don't, and so even on social media, you don't too much hear about it today. Of gay dude got beat up because he walked past some gangbangers at a gas station. And by the way, people, gay dudes and women, us straight guys know not to like just randomly walk past a gang of dudes at night at the gas station or Coney Island. That's kind of a that giveaway that you might be in some trouble. So take it with a grain of salt that it might not be because you were gay or a woman. It's because you were kind of, being stupid. Don't walk past a gang of dudes at night at a gas station or Coney Island. They might fight you for no reason. All right? Moving on. I'm gonna say these. I'm gonna say like two more long ones and then be done because I'm at the 23-minute mark. I think what the author was trying to say is that you can't be pro-black while being against other marginalized groups. Real freedom isn't selective. It only exists when everyone is free. That said, the level of homophobia in this comment section is shocking. I'm honestly surprised at how comfortable people feel expressing that kind of hate openly. Again, people, what do you mean by free? You have to be like more detailed than that. There are literal like dudes walk around in women's clothes. They're that gay. Like, stop the bullshit of not free. What do you mean by not free? I need to understand what you mean. I'm doing too much guessing to know what the fuck you're talking about. Because it sure as hell isn't like literal slavery. What do you mean by free? What do you mean by free? Explain it. Damn. Otherwise, I can't take this shit serious. I understand your statement. I think in all forms did a lot of heavy lifting in people's minds. And then he responds, only if I have a problem with other people's orientation. Then you can make false equivalences and slippery slope arguments all day. I mean, you made a false equivalent, didn't you? While using the colonizers' thoughts that was forcibly imposed on them about what we would now consider LGBT to dismiss us. All right, so yeah, it seems to be the same shit over and over. I guess what do y'all think? Do y'all think there is a correlation of something with the whole black and gay? Because I personally, like I said, I don't believe it. I don't believe in the idea that if you're not saying, again, it's really difficult to even have this conversation when people aren't specifically saying what they mean by not free. Like, it's not a crime. You don't get locked up. So what do you mean by not free? Free to what? You have a parade. You have a month. You have a lot of shit that you just can do openly. So not free to do what? All right, be right, not positive. I'm out.